babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm back with a new Get the Look tutorial featuring mostly MBA Cosmetics products on my eyes. The star of the show is the MBA Cosmetics Chromalust Eyeshadow in the shade Fervor. Now their Chromalust eyeshadows are fairly new and they are their multi-chrome or shifting shadows and they are just stunning. Now the one I'm using today, Fervor, is kind of this coppery red, like wine shade that shifts to a coppery orange, coppery gold, and in some light it looks even a little bit green, so it's absolutely perfect for this kind of fall look that I'm going for. But they have several other shades and they are all just stunning. Now if you're interested in picking up any of those shades, you can use code agapelovegirl15 for 15% off your purchase. Now I also use several other single shadows from MBA Cosmetics, but this is a very simple look. I wanted to keep it simple and easy and just kind of an old school classic smoky eye, and I really love the way it turned out. I really hope you guys do too. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Alright, so before we get started with the eyeshadows, I just want to mention, in case my eyebrows look different, it is because they are a little bit different than I normally do it. I've been trying to do this kind of different thing where they look a little bit more natural, if you will, but more so just kind of this feathery brow, and I've kind of been liking the way it looks, so I've been playing around with that. So I just kind of lightly filled them in for right now, and I just used this Chella eyebrow pencil. It's just a very thin pencil just to lightly fill them in where I need it. And then once I'm done with my makeup, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, which is something new that I've been trying and I've kind of been liking it. It kind of gives me this, well, I guess it doesn't have to, but I've been using it in a way to kind of really fluff up and feather up my brows a little bit and going for that kind of look. So I just want to mention that, since that is something that I've been doing completely different and just kind of liking the way it looks. So I did somewhat prime my eyes the same way I always do, using a brow concealer, the one from Beauty Junkies, and just brought that down onto my eyelids after kind of cleaning up around my brows. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadows. Alright, so I'm going to start off first with the MBA Cosmetics Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade In the Nude. I just have it in this palette that I created with other MBA Cosmetics shadows, and I'm going to be applying that all over my lid using the Tantelizing Color Blend L211 brush. This doesn't really add any color to my lid. It's basically the same shade as my eyelid or my skin tone, but I just like to lay this kind of base color down, since I'm going to go in right away with a very bright, vibrant color. Next, I'm going to be going into the MBA Cosmetics Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade Tiger Lily. And actually all the shadows I'm going to be using today are from MBA Cosmetics, so I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Just know they're single shadows from MBA Cosmetics. And then I'm going to be using the Smith 230 brush just to kind of place that into my crease. Now going in with the Tantelizing Crease Blender, the L215, I'm just going to take that, it's clean, just to softly diffuse that color up a little bit higher into my crease. So I don't want to add any more product, I just want to kind of bring it up softly a little bit higher. Now I'm going to go into the Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade Berrywood. I'm going to take that on the Tantelizing Mini Crease Fluff brush, the L217, and bring that to the outer corner of my eye and just a little bit lower in my crease. Both this shade and the shade Tiger Lily are both colors that kind of pull or complement the main lid shade that I'm going to be using today, so I think this is going to be a really beautiful combo. Now going back in with that Tantelizing Crease Blender, I'm just going to once again diffuse and soften up those colors, kind of blend them together. Alright, now for basically the star of the show, I'm going to be using the MBA Cosmetics Chromalust eyeshadow in the shade Fervor. Their Chromalust eyeshadows are their multi-dimensional, kind of multi-chrome shifting eyeshadows, and they're just stunning. Now this one is a really interesting, beautiful color. It's kind of perfect for fall. It really looks, in my opinion, very kind of wine burgundy, but it's described as a coppery red that shifts to an orangey bronze and kind of a bronze gold color. It's very hard to capture. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it, but also even in the right light it can look a little bit green as well, but it's just stunning. But anyways, I'm going to be taking that pretty much all over my lid, and I'm going to be placing that with the Tantelizing Shadow Fluff, the L213. Now I'm just going to take a soft blend of the shades Tiger Lily and Berrywood on the Tantelizing Mini Crease Fluff and just gently run that over my crease just to blend a little bit more and add just a little bit more definition. Alright, now I'm going to go back in with the shade In the Nude and the Tantelizing Color Blend L211 brush and bring that to my brow bone and just kind of bring it down to do a little bit of cleanup blending as I normally do. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the lids. I am going to go ahead and add some winged liner using the Lottie London Stamp Liner. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Alkaline and line my waterline with it, as well as kind of bring that close to and under my lashes, my lower lash line. I think this is really going to be a great complementary color to the shadows I'm using, and I just want to have a little bit smudged out under my lower lash line, and then I'll be going over that again with another shadow. Next, going back in with the shade Tiger Lily and the Mini Crease Fluff, I'm just going to sloppily blend that over my lower lash line as well. And now I'm just going to bring a light wash of the shade Fervor onto my lower lash line as well. Alright, and that about does it for the eyes for right now. I'm going to go ahead and put my face on, the rest of my face on off camera, and I'll be right back to complete this look. Alright, now with the rest of my face done, I'm going to go ahead and add one more shadow to my eyes. I'm going to be using the Silk Effects Pressed Shadow in the shade Forever Young. I'm going to be taking that on a pencil brush and bringing that to the inner corner of my eyes, as well as lightly on my brow bone. Alright, and for my lashes, I'm going to be using the Wander Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. I mentioned when I used this in a previous video that I didn't think this was a terrible mascara, but it wasn't one that I really liked that much. I didn't feel like it really did a lot for my lashes. It kind of just enhance them a little bit, but it's still more of a natural looking lash, and so I just, for that reason, didn't really care for it. But my friend Lauren here on YouTube had mentioned that she felt the same way, and the brand actually reached out to her and gave her some tips on how she can use it to get you know, more volume and things like that, and they said it's a very buildable formula, and so I decided to give it another try as well myself, trying to build it up a little bit, as well as kind of using the unique shape of the brush to my advantage. So the shape of this, the brush and the wand is like I said, a very unique shape. It's kind of got this wide spoon design, so it kind of has this little bit of a curve that looks a little bit like a spoon, and it is wide. So what I've been doing lately is using it on the side where it's thinner and brushing that right at the base of my lashes, getting it right close to my lashes, and then kind of slowly turning the wand so that it kind of spoons my lashes, and then I'll have the wider part of the brush kind of spooning my lashes, and then I'll kind of wiggle it back and forth and lift up kind of like slowly with my lashes and kind of work it that way. So I feel like that's been giving me a pretty good result. Again, it's not like super amazing. I wouldn't call this my favorite mascara, but I am liking it a little bit more than I was previously doing it with this technique, and then also kind of going back and building it up. So I'm building up the volume as well as the curl. So hopefully you'll be able to see that in this demonstration, what I am doing and what I mean. And I kind of just go back and do that several times, kind of just over and over, slowly building it up with the, starting with the thin side of the brush, the base of my lashes, and slowly wiggling and rotating it to where the wider side is spooning my lashes and wiggling it, and you know, lifting the wand up to really give my lashes volume, curl, as well as length. So you can see that this does add a little bit more volume and curl to my lashes, and I feel like I like it a little bit better than I used to, but this mascara really only promises to add volume and curl, which is great and might be the preference for most people, but my preference for mascara is one that adds length as well as curl, or you know, curl, volume, and length. Length is the biggest thing for me. I want my lashes to look longer. So obviously I can't get mad that this doesn't really add a ton of length, because it doesn't promise to do that. So that's my biggest thing. Of course, it can be built up, and as you can see, I think my lashes look pretty good with this mascara. It's just that my preference is more for a lengthening mascara. So, but I do feel like with these, this kind of different technique and slowing down and just taking time to really build it up, and using this kind of spooning technique with this really neat wand, it does a much better job than how I was using it initially. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to finishing up my brows. And like I said, I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, which is like this fiber, like tinted fiber brow gel. I like that it really keeps them in place. It also has the fibers to help kind of build up your lashes if they are thin or sparse. It has a little bit of color as well to kind of give a little bit more fullness, a little more something to your brows. But it does come with quite a bit of product, so when I pull it out, I try to wipe as much of that off so it doesn't mess up my surrounding makeup. So, and the little wand has kind of like little teeth to kind of comb through your brows, so that is really nice. So what I'm going to do is just kind of very carefully brush through my brows, because like I said, I already have a brow pencil in there to give it a little bit of, you know, color, so I don't need a ton of the color to like get on my skin. I just want enough of the brow gel just to kind of comb through my brows and kind of set them in place, and I'm going to fluff them up just a little bit. So I just kind of keep playing with them with the wand in my brows and fluffing them up and brushing them back just until I get it exactly how I want it to look. But yes, I realize how silly it kind of is to do all this work for that whole natural messy brow look. Takes a lot of time and work to get that messy look. And now one more thing before we move on to the lips, I do want to add a little stamp heart on my eyes, going back in with that Lottie London stamp liner. And I'm just going to place a little heart by the side of my eye. Alright, for lips, I'm going to be doing something a little bit dramatic and vampy to kind of pull along with this look that is very, very fall-esque. I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Queen Collection Major Shade Liquid Lipstick in the shade Q140 Wedding Crasher. Alright, and that wraps it up for this look and tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes.